But we're the men and women following freedom's track.
It's Foster Gamble here, and I'm sitting here with Rima and Bert and Ralph from the Natural Solutions Foundation, where we've had a fantastic visit. And I just want to take this moment to let everyone know how profound I think the work is that they're doing. They've been heroes of mine for quite a while in the whole food, health, freedom, justice movement out there. At the vanguard for a long time, representing a whole lot of us who care, but haven't had the time to actually go out there and be there ourselves. They're doing very exciting things down in Panama that I've been getting educated about, and I really encourage everyone to go to their Natural Solutions Foundation and check it out for yourself. They're doing really exciting things that I want everyone to consider participating in helping them get this off the ground, because they're going to do it anyway, but it's a whole lot easier with our help. Hundreds of groups around the world now using this same solutions model, and so that it can all synchronize with one another, but with tremendous independence and creativity.
Without that kind of catalyst,
yeah.
Without what we've been doing, what you've been doing, without that kind of catalyst, without that kind of galvanization, without ringing that bell and touching people's hearts at the right moment, we really have no hope. None, zero. We are doomed. And so what you've done and what we're doing and what other people are doing is ringing the bells.
Yes.
And what's coming together is this incredible music of empowerment and capacitation. And you know, we've created an investment fund for the purpose of creating tipping point projects to move that forward in a very practical way.
Right. Yeah, I want to find out more about that while you're here, because we're doing similar things, particularly in the area of free energy.
Excellent.
Yes.
We filed with the SEC. We had an attorney who donated half of his fee, by the way, which was really nice.
Right.
Well.
And we don't see ourselves as exclusive in that or any other area.
Yeah,
we
exactly.
see ourselves as collaborative.
That's the thing. What's happening is a decentralized, self-creating movement where we have these loose alliances that don't depend on all sorts of negotiations and agreements and everything, but people can just support one another's work, and as we organize around common principles, I'm confident that it's unstoppable.
I think so too.
Well, think about it for a second. If anywhere else in the world, last Monday, 1,500 veterans or active duty military people marched down the main street of the Capitol, chanting the name of the leader of the opposition, Ron Paul, and chanting "End the Fed," calling for the abolition of the central bank. I would say that any regime that has that sort of thing going on in its capital city is on the edge of collapse.
Yes, and
they don't know that.
Hence the NDAA and the FEMA camps and all that kind of stuff.
Course,
yeah,
of course, dangerous.
Right. I don't think the transition is going to be pretty.
No.
But the faster people find out and wake up, the more decentralized and unstoppable it is.
The thing is, what did they know then that was going to happen now that was going to require FEMA camp? The fact that they're there and they're as many as there are.
But this is a much older trend. When Richard Nixon was president, there were 15 internment camps that we knew about. Who knows how many there were.
The answer to what your query about what did they know then, I think that they have been planning the global financial collapse as that which would cause kind of the final false flag for a long time. And the IMF and the World Bank has been bringing down over 70 countries worldwide, and there's always the blowbacks, and so they know that it's going to come here. I think they've just been waiting to do this one last because they knew there would be potentially the most resistance.
Well, as Henry Kissinger said about his depopulation plans, start with the undeveloped world first. And the Icelanders do seem to have survived the internationalists.
Right, much better than if they had gone along with it.
Oh, for sure.
Because if that default, if they do that, it could be the domino, start the dominoes that I think that they've actually been planning to do, just that would go right through Europe and eventually come here.
Yeah, without a doubt.
So I think it's important that people plan for that, not that they panic about it, but that they realize that stores could be empty of food soon, and then people should talk to their neighbors about how to pool their resources on energy and food and water.
We've
and
been
so forth.
talking to people for 2 years now
Yeah.
about growing your own. You live in Minneapolis, take a corner of your living room, do
Right.
intensive square foot gardening.
CSAs
Use-
are getting, more and more people getting
create
involved in
seeds.
CSAs.
Absolutely, yeah.
One of the things that we're doing as part of the fund is we know that the entire northern hemisphere is radioactive and will become more and more and more and more and more and more radioactive because of Fukushima. The non-accident accident. Did you know that plant number 6 failed about 3 weeks ago? It's a mixed oxide of plutonium plant like number 2. And now we have, and why? Because all of the people who know how to maintain it are dead.
Right.
A little bit of a problem. You know,
Yeah.
those things are so finicky. You have to,
Yes.
pay attention to them or
Right.
they destroy your world.
And then Obama just okayed 2 more on the
Yes.
East Coast?
Built by TEPCO.
Really?
Yes,
I had
G
no
Mark
idea.
1 and 2.
Do you think maybe this time they'll put the control rooms higher than tsunami level?
Probably not. Probably, why would they do that?
Would be more expensive.
Yeah, then there's Point Calhoun.
No, they're gonna
Why-
put 'em in the White House.
Anyhow, we're very concerned that since not everybody can or will emigrate to the southern hemisphere, food is literally unavailable that is not contaminated because the water is contaminated or because the soil is contaminated or both here in the United States and Canada and Europe and so on. So we accelerated one of our projects, which was to create a safe food source, a safe food supply, I should say. And we've been in Chile 3 times now, in the not very long ago. And we're meeting with organic producers. They have a very high level of standard. When they say organic, they really mean it's not Codex organic, it's not USDA
Right.
organic, it's real organic. And, which I didn't know, by the way. Very, very high quality food on the organic side. And so we've met with producers, we've met with an exporter who already is shipping this food, and we're going back probably at the beginning of April to have a much more extensive connection. And we'll be bringing in food to, first of all, the United States, in the form of, or the format of, an international CSA.
Mm.
Yeah?
Wow,
Is
brilliant.
that cool?
Yeah.
Yeah, we make real trouble.
What a great kind of trouble.
But they don't grow any coffee either.
No,
So
and
we
we
get
do.
to export our coffee to them.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that we're growing stunningly good coffee?
I've been reading about that on your site.
Mm.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. I would have brought you some, we would have brought you some, but the new crop just came in. We had our first cup of the new crop as we were leaving for the airport at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5:30 or something. And it's really nice. So
Right.
we, Chile happens to have a lust for coffee. There's a coffee shop every half block all
Uh-huh.
over Santiago and everywhere else. So we thought it would kind of be a natural exchange.
Because
Mhm.
they don't grow any at all. do they?
That's
But they
fascinating. I
do
never
grow.
knew that.
Yeah.
Well, they have a diversity of ecosystems, but that's not one of them.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Because they're so far south?
Well,
Yeah.
they go from the Atacama Desert, which is the driest spot on Earth, which had a 400-year drought. That's a drought.
Yeah. Wow.
From 1571 to 1971, not a drop of rain.
Yeah, that's dry.
That's right. So they have that, and then they go south to Patagonia where they have the glaciers and huge amounts of water, and it's quite cold, and of course they have the Andes for the skiing, and
Yeah.
they grow international prize-winning olive oil that wins the first prize year after year in Italy in the olive oil competitions.
Wow. Hmm.
And so we'll be importing oil, and they have just stunning.
So you guys have been on airplanes a lot. How's TSA treating you these days?
Well, under
Getting
doctor's
worse.
orders, none of us will volunteer to be X-rayed.
Irradiated, yeah.
Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
Good.
You know about the terahertz scanners that they're installing in New York City?
No.
Uh-huh. Rather than think, they've decided that they will install terahertz scanners, and as you walk around New York City, you will be randomly exposed to terahertz energy, which is wildly carcinogenic.
So they're going to be
Somebody
doing random X-rays,
Random
basically.
X-rays. Hello.
Hi, how fun to see you.
Rima, this is Kimberly.
Hi, Rima.